Darkness falls, and with it, the truth emerges. In a world where the line between fact and fear is blurred, beneath the surface of forgotten towns and restless graves, hide secrets soaked in blood and whispers that never die. From the chilling depths of true crime to the unexplained shadows of the paranormal, we dive into the stories that haunt both past and present. Welcome to Realm of Darkness.
Look at our new stuff. We got new stuff. We're fancy now.
I love it. It looks so good.
Yes. So we are back. It's been what, 3 weeks, right? It's been a little while. We all what's happened in the last 3 weeks here?
Well, our last episode we had on Patty Negri, and then I went to Colorado. So
You went to Colorado.
I went to Colorado and for work and traveled and was in
Mhm.
101-degree heat, and now I'm
That's fun.
back at football practice every day.
I remember somewhere in there we survived what I thought was the apocalypse for a minute because the smoke from Canada had turned everything orange for a few days. That was fun.
Well, and you know what's crazy is when we were in Colorado, so yeah, we were here with the smoke and like we
Mhm.
weren't allowed to go outside. The air quality
Mhm.
was terrible.
Yeah.
But then we go to Colorado and they were also having fires. So
Really.
we could see the smoke and the haze from the plane. And we're
Wow.
like, there's no way. But yeah, it was also, there was
Yeah.
parts of Colorado that were on fire too. So we couldn't get away from it.
Damn. That's crazy. I mean, it is what it is. Everything seems like it's back to normal now. So I
I
mean,
think so. I haven't heard much about it in the news
no, it
anymore.
kind of went away. So I think everything's safe. But we're back, and this is technically we're gonna say it's season 2
It
because
is.
I realized when I was uploading things on Spotify, everything was under season 1, and, and we were at 35 episodes of season 1. I'm like, well, let's change it up a little bit. Let's start a season 2. So that's what we are doing. That's why there's a refresh, there's a new intro, and all sorts of stuff. And what we're gonna do tonight, because we wanted to try something a little different, not really different because you did this to me a few months back, but we're doing another darkness detour, as we call it. But this time, I'm going to be asking Ashley a bunch of questions and seeing how she answers these things. It'll be a fun night. So
I'm gonna get us canceled.
you have no idea what I'm going to ask you either. So that's the best
I
part.
don't. I was actually talking to my dad on the phone, and I was like, Nate is taking over the show. I have no idea what he's asking, what he's doing, or like where this is gonna go. So I'm just here
Mhm.
for the ride.
Yeah. I got some interesting ones for you, so it'll be entertaining for everybody that's watching. But I figure let's kind of start because some of the cases we've already covered, we're back in the news within the last couple weeks, and I figured, you know what, maybe let's talk about some new developments real quick.
Yeah.
So the first one, just this afternoon, I saw was the Idaho murder case and Brian Kohlberger and all of that stuff. He wants to remove his plea deal that he made with the state and all that stuff, which he's saying that his attorneys basically threatened him into doing it and all this stuff, and they were going to give him certain things like visitation rights and yada yada yada, but they never gave him all that stuff. So now he wants to take his plea deal out and start over.
And was he one of the ones that pled guilty to avoid the death penalty?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, he pled guilty to avoid the death penalty, but now he's not so sure on that. But like, how could you even do that? You've already like signed things and
I mean, I guess if you say that you were forced into it, because
Mhm.
we've seen cases where there's an interrogation and they admit to things and they're like, well, I felt pressured, I felt scared, I just said what they wanted me to say. And I will be really interested to see how this case goes. I feel horrible for the
Mhm.
families
Yeah.
because years later, it's still all over social media, TikTok especially. And, you know, there's all kinds of theories. They're saying that the cops were dirty and tried to cover things up. They think the roommates were involved. They think Brian didn't act alone. So there's so many different conspiracy theories out there that I think if he did another jury trial, it would be really difficult to pull people who don't know the case or don't have at least a preconceived notion of what they think happened.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, the Netflix thing just came out this week. You know, Netflix, so usually something Netflix covers, a lot of people watch it. So that's everywhere right now. But from the articles I read about it, the chances of it actually happening are slim to none, based off of certain things he signed when he, you know, took the plea deal in the first place. It's irreversible. Like he's like things like, you know, you knew you're not being forced to sign this against your will. This is your true plea, and yada yada.
Yeah, I think the only chance he would have is if there was like mishandling of evidence or something that could be considered like a mistrial.
Yeah,
but I don't think this happened or that happened in this case.
There was no trial technically because he took a plea deal before.
Yeah.
Before it even went to trial. So that's that though. The chances of it actually happening are slim to none because there's just so many things there that he would have to prove, and you know, negligence and all that stuff. And there's nothing there that's from all accounts I read. There's nothing there that really will prove that. So don't worry about that one. I think he's gonna be in there for a while.
I hope not. I mean, I hope he is. I hope he doesn't. He's not allowed to retract.
Never sees the light of day.
Yeah.
And another case that we covered, the Mackenzie Shirillo case, was back in the news again this week. She wants to have another trial. She wants to throw away everything that's happened so far. She's claiming that her rights were violated and her counsel was insufficient, and they didn't provide different evidence, and there's different things they could have done. So she wants to actually have a jury trial this time and not just the bench trial.
Oh, I'm local. I want to get pulled for that jury. I'm not in the right county, but I don't think, not to cut you off, but I think if she does a jury trial, there's no way in hell she's going to get an innocent plea or an innocent conviction.
It's the same thing. It's all over the place. Like everybody already has their, you know, opinions about it. So,
well, and let's be honest. I mean, we grew up in the age, you and I, where computers were becoming a thing and social media was becoming a thing. It was like MySpace and Facebook. And one of the things my dad always said is don't put anything on the internet that you're going to regret, because once it's there, it's there. And let's be honest, her social medias do not do her justice. Even if she was 100% innocent and it was a medical condition or she passed out, which I don't believe, but even if that were the case, everything she posted online makes her look so guilty.
Awful.
So guilty.
Yeah.
And her character is see, I'm already riled up.
I love it.
Her character is trash.
Yeah.
You don't
she's
know
not
my opinion.
She's not a good person. No.
No, she's not. Not at all. She's a spoiled brat that should have been disciplined as a child. Her parents are trash. I mean, her dad himself just needs to shut his mouth.
So, I mean, part of the incompetent counsel and stuff like that, you heard about how to file an appeal for a higher level, she had to have the lawyers had to submit that within a certain time frame, and they missed the deadline on it. So that's part of the argument on that. By 1 day, because they claimed it was like a leap year or whatever. So why would you wait that long to begin with?
That's what I'm saying.
So she may have some kind of ground there based off of that. Now,
from what I heard, the courts are not, they're like, listen, you had an entire year. And if even with a leap year, you had an entire year. to file, and you wait to the very last minute. And I think that's one, it was denied because of the deadline, but they straight out said, like, you could have done this 5 months ago.
But that's not on Mackenzie, technically, is it? That would be on her lawyers.
That would be on her lawyers, yes.
Yeah. So that's what she's arguing, is that they didn't do their job and they missed certain pieces of evidence that would have helped her. The one thing that was noted, I saw, as far as new evidence that she thinks is going to help her, there's a package waiting for her. There was this 24-hour pickup place, and that's the reason why she went down that road to begin with, was to go to get this package. Like, come on, like.
But you had to go 100 miles an hour.
You had to go 100 miles exactly. So there's not really anything new there, but I mean, whatever.
I don't know. I think the way that she acts, I think she is just a spoiled brat looking to 100%. Get out of prison. Because even all the different incidences in prison, I mean, I'm not going to call it a rap sheet because I don't think she's like that criminal, I guess. But I mean, all the different things that have happened in prison, you know, she's got, I don't really know the technical term, she's got like dings against her the whole way.
She's not looking good. Yeah.
No, and even fellow inmates are coming out saying comments and saying things, and I don't know, maybe they're doing it for attention because the case is so big, but I just think
everywhere. Yeah.
My personal opinion is, if you didn't want to be in prison, you should have made better life decisions. Maybe you 100%. Shouldn't have been doing 100 miles an hour. Maybe you shouldn't have hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have just been a better person.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I really don't know. That's one to watch because that was recent too. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. But hopefully nothing happens. But
I think if it gets overturned and she ends up with another trial, or she somehow gets out, I think there is going to be an uproar.
Oh yeah. And the same thing we talked about, it's everywhere. Everybody knows about it. So good luck finding anybody that doesn't.
Right.
That kind of. So now we're going to switch over to these random questions. And this kind of fits with that, with being everywhere and stuff like that. So these are just random questions I came up with, and we'll see how you answer these, and we'll have a discussion.
Okay.
So first question. Are documentaries making people better informed, or are they making them quick to play detective online?
Ooh.
Yes.
That is a good question.
Yes.
I think... I feel like I could go either way, because I know me, I love to watch documentaries, but I always do take it with a grain of salt, because editing... Well, you're an editor, you know, you can make a story look a certain way based on editing. But I do think with the documentary coming out, especially like with Mackenzie or the Murdaugh case, or even the Idaho murders, everybody all of a sudden has their criminal justice degree, and they're dissecting crime scenes. They're digging into evidence that really isn't there. They're coming up with conspiracy theories. You know, with the Idaho murders, I've heard everything from their friends were playing a game called Serial Killer that went bad and half of them ended up dead. I've heard that the girls, Kylie and Kaylee, were the last to be killed. I've heard that their roommate did it, cleaned it up, and then blamed it on Brian. Like, so I just
innocent people are getting thrown into different things.
Yes, innocent people are getting thrown into things. And I think if you're not there, you know, it's hard, because like with the Idaho, I'm not going to say the roommates were involved or they weren't involved. But you have to remember they're 18 to 20-year-old girls. And you never know how you're going to react in a situation until you're put in that situation. And I just think people take these documentaries and they try too hard to solve a crime, that they really don't have all the evidence. And even when pictures and files are posted, there's still things that the public never truly sees.
Yeah. They're not going to see every single thing.
No. And I think with the families, they're the victims in the situation.
Mhm.
I'll say, second source victims, because
Yeah.
now all these people playing detective who,
Mhm.
shouldn't be,
Yeah.
is just dredging up this stuff for these families. And,
Yeah.
and it's
And they're
just sad.
trying, a lot of the time, the families are trying to move on from things, and a lot of people make it a lot worse. Accusing people that shouldn't be accused, and
Mhm.
all that fun stuff. Now,
Well, I think in that case, Bethany was getting death threats. Like, she had to move, she had to drop out of
yeah,
college. Like, I'm pretty sure her life was
Yeah.
hell for a couple years, because people are like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You weren't in that situation. You don't know.
Exactly. Now, I do think there are two kinds of people that watch these kind of documentaries. There's the people like that are like breaking every little thing down, and then there's just people that are watching because
Mhm.
they're entertaining to them and they like to learn that kind of stuff.
Well,
Those
yeah.
are the people. Yeah, like, I mean, we do a bit of both. We're kind of in the middle somewhere because we do talk about a lot of these things.
We do.
Well, I'm not accusing people of things online or like saying, look at this, you should be looking at this differently. I'm looking at what's out there, and I'm forming my opinions, and same as you, based off of what we see on these things, all documentaries. I mean, we watch everything. But
And there's only one person I accused.
this is true.
There's only, in all of it, I always say hypothetically, or this is my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's only one case that we've ever covered where I'm like, no, they did it for sure. They had to have do it.
Yeah. Well, which actually brings me to another question I had for you, and it kind of goes along that. So it's a nice little segue, I think. If you were on a high profile murder trial on the jury, what would it take to convince you beyond a reasonable doubt that they were guilty?
Ooh.
Yes. These are all flowing nicely. And like I said, Ashley has no idea what I have written down on this paper. So
no, I think it would have to depend. Like, can I use examples of cases that we've covered? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It would have to depend on what evidence was being presented.
Mhm.
Like the Ellen Greenberg case. That case was something that we both were very passionate about, because this beautiful young girl is in her locked house,
and
she's murdered.
Yeah.
And you're going to blame
she wasn't murdered.
Well, suicide.
On paper, yes.
But you have multiple stab wounds in places that we can't really reach with a lot of force. And the injury that killed her severed her spinal cord.
Yeah.
But there were multiple stab wounds after the spinal cord was severed. You're telling me she did that? So that right there, if I was on that jury, I would have been, boyfriend did it. 100% boyfriend did it. Who else could be in that house?
Somebody did it. She didn't do it to herself, yeah.
Right. But now in the Idaho case, or even, okay, so the Murdaugh case, there was TikTok video or Snapchat video of him at the kennels, like 20 seconds before they were shot. Okay, I don't care how fast you are. You can't get out of an area 20 seconds and then not know who killed your family. So that is another situation where I would probably have voted guilty for him. But then, like the Idaho murders, when all you have is a sheath, you don't have physical fingerprints, you don't have a DNA, you don't literally all you have is the knife sheath. That would be hard for me to say that's enough evidence to convict them.
Yeah.
I would personally need to see more. And then also, you have one person murdering 4 people. Were they asleep? Were they not asleep? There's camera footage with laughing and giggling and then eventually screaming and yelling. So I don't know. Oh God, that's a hard question.
It's tough. Yeah. I mean, some things are obvious, like, the Athena Strand stuff where there's video and you hear it. That's night and day. But some of these are just so, what's the deciding factor? What would it take for you to put somebody away for the rest of their life? And I mean, I need something concrete, you know?
Yeah, I would need something very solidified.
Yeah.
Because I would hope that if I were the one on trial, that somebody in that jury would do that for me.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to give me hate over this, but like
Mm-hmm.
the Idaho murders, that is one of my cases that I follow a lot. But for me, there's just not enough to convict Brian. They're just,
no. I mean,
you know,
a lot of it, there's certain things I would lean towards them, yes, but
yes,
like the cell phone pings and like where he was at certain times and coming back the next day. There's
Yeah.
I mean, is it circumstantial? Maybe a little bit. But
right. But then also, you know, if I were sitting on that jury, I'd want to know, did his cell phone ping in that area prior to the murder? And I'm not talking a couple days, a couple weeks. I'm talking a couple months, a couple years. Like, was there a reason for him to be in that area? You know, there would just be so many questions. And there are a lot of cases we cover where I'm like, I don't know if I personally would have had a guilty ruling.
Yeah.
Or vote.
Yeah, I agree. Thankfully, it's not up to us to decide half the time.
I know. I do say I have wanted to be on a grand jury so bad, and everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I do. Because I think I would go in logical, like, okay, I need to see concrete evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, I would drive people nuts. We'd be there for multiple probably.
I'd be like, somebody order Jimmy John's because we're about to be here for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I would hate to be the person that put somebody away for life that was really, truly innocent. And you really got to prove it to me.
And you hear those cases where people do go to prison for 20, 30 years, and then DNA evidence comes up, and they weren't even, you know, it wasn't them.
Yeah.
I would feel terrible if I put somebody away for, you just ruined their life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're having some good debate tonight. It's kind of
I like it.
I like this. So here's a interesting question for you to think about. Is justice still justice if it comes 20 years after the crime?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I think that, now, are we talking murder or assault, or are we talking like a bank robbery?
Let's say murder.
Okay.
I think that's the.
I think even if it's 20 years later, finding the person who did it and making them pay for their actions, I think that's closure for the family, and that's closure for the victim. So I think even if the family has to wait, I think it's better than never knowing, or, you know, dying thinking that the killer of your loved one's still out there possibly doing it. So even if it is 20 years later, I think justice is justice, and people change, but you know what?
Yeah.
If you made a mistake and you killed somebody, 20 years later, go.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to agree, but at the same time, part of me is like, they had 20 years to live on top of after that. Like they were out there living their life for 20 years. I'd kind of feel some kind of way, I think. Like maybe a little aggravated. Why did it take 20 years to do? But I'm like, there are different things now, like different DNA and stuff like that. Things are different, but
forensics and technology are increasing every day.
I'd still be a little butthurt about it, I think. But
oh, for sure. I'd be like, why didn't you figure this out 20 years ago? But I think I would be thankful that I at least had an answer eventually.
Yeah.
But I also think I would be scared that there's other victims that maybe weren't found.
Yeah. I mean, well, then there's 20 years of time there. Maybe somebody else got along the way. Like there's all sorts of things. So.
Well, and I guess it also depends on the family, because, you know, after 20 years, not that the family's moved on, but they've learned to deal with the grief, and now you have to bring it all back up and dredge it all back up, and they're probably going to have to go to court and all that. So, but I think if you did something wrong, you should have to pay for it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's no. I've seen just random TikTok I saw not too long ago. A woman abducted this kid when they were a baby, and 20 years later, she was arrested for it because they tracked her down DNA and stuff like that. I guess the girl went and did like a blood work or something like that, and they pinged her on like the missing persons database or something like that.
Jeez.
So 20 years, this woman was already like a grown adult. Like this was her mom, all that stuff, but. Now she abducted this girl from somebody, and they found her 20 years later. I'm like, that's wild to me.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I mean, there's different things like that. You'll see more and more now as things advance, like because there's still technology that we don't have that's going to be coming out in the next 20 years too.
Yeah.
Things
Ariel Castro in Ohio, he kidnapped those 3 girls and held them hostage for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right under everyone's nose. And, they eventually get out, and he did go to prison. I think he ended up committing, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but in prison.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I think he offed himself. But, I mean, even 10 years later, at least the family got them back.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that. So here's a fun one for you. Let's say you are promoted to a detective on the force, and you are given a cold case file. What's the first thing you're going to do with that?
Oh man, I think
I love this. This is great.
I honestly, if I was given a cold case and I was just promoted to detective, I think I would sit down and go through the case.
Yeah.
I would read it, I would study it, and I think I would take, I don't know how they're formatted, but I think what I would do is I would take all the things that the previous detective had already gone through and set them aside, because I wouldn't want to go in with a preconceived notion, and I wouldn't want to go in with their findings. I would want to look at the case as if it had just happened yesterday and kind of start with the bare minimum and start digging that way and see if maybe I take a different route than the previous detective did. And eventually I would look at their evidence and look at their findings, but I would want to make my own opinion and thought process.
Yeah, you want to use your own brain and not somebody else's work already.
Yeah, and to be honest, and I'm only going to say this because I literally just got certified today, I would honestly use like Lean Six Sigma to figure this out. So it's a whole like methodical way of figuring out
green
problems.
Belt, right?
Yeah, my green. I got my yellow and my green. Yay!
I thought Ashley was doing karate this whole time.
I'm just out doing karate. But Lean Six Sigma is a methodical way of breaking down issues and problems to really find like the root cause. And I think I would try to apply that to a case. I would assume it would have to work.
Yeah. I mean, so it's interesting because one of the bigger podcasts out there just a couple weeks ago while we were on break was covering a really high profile local case around me here, a cold case from 20 years ago, and like just hearing like things are being reopened and looked at different ways and stuff like that. That's one of the things they talked about, and I'm like, I don't really know what I would do. Like, would you try to find
review everything, or would you start from the beginning?
I think you got to start from the beginning, and then I'd almost talk anybody that's still pertinent. I would re-interview and like start from there, and like like, hey, it's been such and such a time. Anything else? Like re-get their statements and see if anything changes along the way. But
and I think that's a great idea, because have you ever had a situation happen, and not that you're in shock, but you're kind of like, when it happens, you don't really remember every detail, but then like 10 days or a year later, you're like, oh my God, I remember that. And so I think people that get interviewed should be interviewed over and over and over again, because also you can see if there's inconsistencies in their story.
Something jogs back in their memory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is crazy, because maybe one day we'll talk about this case, But as I told you, I could see the guy that's being accused. If I looked out my window right over here, I could see his backyard. So we're not going to touch that one.
Is this the guy when we were driving to Monroe and you're like,
Yeah.
tell me his
Yep.
name? And I was like, oh.
Yep, you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's that one. But it's big around here right now because it was in there. And some of the things that they talked about in that podcast episode goes back to that first question about, enabling people and solid. Because now they talked about certain spots in the road where somebody saw this and that. So we got people trying to go to this spot and go through the woods and all that stuff. So it's crazy. It's crazy work. But
well, and didn't that happen like a while ago too? Like it's not a recent
20 years, yeah, 2005.
Yeah. So I do find it funny when people return to a crime scene 20, 30 years later, especially in nature. And you have to take into account decomposition. You have to take, and you live in New York in one of the most weathered areas. So you get rain, snow, heat, smoke. I mean, the likelihood of a piece of evidence lasting that long for a non-detective to find.
Yeah. Good luck.
You're just, you're trying to manifest things that really aren't there.
Maybe one day something will happen with that case, and we'll talk about that because I'll have some stories about that one. That's kind of just because of where I'm at and all that stuff. But
and he's out and walking around, right? He's
100%,
it's just an accusation.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm glad I didn't say his name.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of unsolved cases and stuff like that, if you could solve one unsolved case that's currently out there, which one would you go with?
I know 100%. You didn't even have to finish that question. There is a case that I covered a while ago, and I actually got to talk to the mother of the children, and it would be the Skelton brothers. They went missing Thanksgiving many years ago. They were very, very young. There were 3 of them, and their bodies had never been found. They were with their father. Their mother and their father were separated, and the father told everyone that he gave them to an underground sanctuary to keep them safe. However, there was a lot of evidence in the house. There was like a bullet, there was ropes, there was all these things found in his house. And he had also been to the hospital for some type of injury. And there's been no turnup of the of the kids. And I mean, most of them would be adults now. But I think if I could solve a case, just because as a mother, I feel for her, I would want it to 100% be the Skelton brothers from Michigan. What would be your case?
The one that's around here right now would probably be a good one.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't pick that one, I think high profile wise, maybe Jack the Ripper, just because there's so many theories out there, and I want to know who's right. You know what I mean? There's like a million different people out there that have been named in that one. So
another high profile that I think would blow people's minds if it was actually solved, John Benet Ramsey. That would be another.
I agree. That's another.
Tupac.
I mean, we all know
who did that.
we have ideas on that. That documentary about Diddy, that enabled me to.
I would think that's. Yeah, I think Diddy did that one. He might not have did it him, or he might not have done it himself.
My opinion, yeah.
For entertainment purposes only, my opinion is Diddy called the shots on that one.
Diddy did that shit.
But yeah, I think John Benet Ramsey would be another high profile one.
That it's just it's out there. So
Princess Diana.
Yeah,
that would be a huge one that people would love.
I mean, as far as like big cases and our other line of thinking, the paranormal, what's the Lizzie Borden case? I think would be an interesting one to actually know who did that.
I don't think Lizzie did it.
I don't either. I really
don't.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think I mean, there are things there that make it look like she did it 100%, but I don't think she had the capacity to do that as violent as it was.
No, I don't either, and I think that's funny because so many people think I'm crazy. So I'm glad you agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think. I
That'd
don't
be a
think you
fun
did
one to
it.
cover. That'd be a fun one to cover sometime.
It would.
It's a throwback case because obviously that's from 100 years ago. But I mean, the Villisca Axe murder house one too. That one was never solved, and there's lots of different names around that too. So
Yeah.
I even heard H. Holmes' name in that one. So like, there's
So what's funny is the timeline. I kind of looked into this, but the timeline does not add up.
yeah,
But
yeah.
there are a lot of speculations that H.
Mhm.
Holmes and Jack the Ripper were the same person.
I heard that too. Yeah,
Yeah, there's speculation, but if you look at the
he wasn't in the
timeline,
room, so
well, they said he was over there, he moved here, and then became
yeah.
H. Holmes. But yeah, the different years, it just doesn't add up. But
One of the suspects for that is buried about an hour away from here, which is kind of interesting. So let's we kind of switch into the paranormal there a little bit. So I have some paranormal questions too because I thought this would be kind of fun.
okay.
So we've been doing this for a while, and think back to young Ashley before she went on her first investigation, all that stuff.
Okay.
What's one paranormal belief you had going into investigating that you had changed over time?
Ooh, this is gonna ruffle some feathers too, I feel. So before I started investigating and before I've ever visited locations, I have to preface with I was born and raised Catholic. So
Yeah.
I was born and raised heaven, hell, angels, Satan, demons, all of that, right? And I grew up watching some of the shows that were on TV, some that still are. And I truly, I think, believed that you could go into a location and encounter a truly evil, demonic entity.
You
And
thought it was more common, probably, than
yes, and so I believe that certain locations did have demonic activity. I believed that you could run into these god awful, evil, negative entities, like supernatural type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel silly now because going to locations and we have been to some very dark.
Into some doozies, yeah.
We've been to some very dark locations that have had a lot of crime, we'll say.
Yeah.
And never in all of my years have I ran into a demon or even something I would remotely consider an evil entity. Now, we've experienced, and we've said this before, if you are a nice, loving person in life, you're a nice, loving person in death. And if you were an a-hole in life, you're going to be an a-hole in death. So I think we've crossed some people who are just nasty, but I don't think we've actually come across like a demon.
I know. Closest thing I think from the ending that was actually like scary, probably, and all of whatever the hell was on that. But that just
Okay.
we had for sort of a different type, but
So I have to tell you, I don't know if you can hear me, but since I started saying that, you have completely pixelated on my computer and you're going in and out. I heard Monroe and that was it.
that's crazy.
Am I freezing for you?
Fine.
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, now you're pixelated and frozen for me.
That's weird.
Oh, okay, now you're back. See, I mentioned the D word and here we go.
Yeah. Well,
okay,
that's weird. But
that's them being like, all right, well, but yeah, Monroe. You mentioned Monroe.
Yeah. I said, I don't know if that was whatever was there that night or the company we kept that night, one of the two, but that's a story for a different day.
I like how you put that. It could have been a mixture of both.
Yeah, 100%. Not Tom. We like Tom. Tom, Katie.
Oh, we love Tom and Katie. Yeah.
But
Even though every location we go to, we always bring up. So in Monroe, if you remember, we were all walking up the stairs, and Tom was last.
Yeah.
And I think you were.
That will forever be one of my favorite stories.
And walking up the stairs, I think it was Katie, me, you, and then Tom. And I just remember hearing, Nate, go. Nate, go, Nate, go, Nate, go. As he's like rushing you up the stairs.
I love Tom. He'll never live that one down. I bring it up almost every investigation we're on. If I'm walking up the stairs last, I'll say it.
We do every time, and he goes, shut up, guys.
I don't know if he thinks it's as funny as we do, but I thought it was hilarious. So.
We love you, Tom.
Yep. So here's an interesting thing to think about. Cemeteries. A lot of people think automatically they're haunted 100%. They have to be. Do you think they actually are, or is that just a misconception among pretty much everybody?
I think it's a misconception.
I do too.
I believe that cemeteries can have spirits and entities, but I think they come with the person who's experiencing whatever they're experiencing.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I go to a cemetery, there's going to be spirits or entities that know I'm going to the cemetery. Yeah. They're going to seek me out to make this connection to possibly communicate. I don't think that they're just hanging out, chilling, waiting for somebody to come driving through.
I don't think so. I agree. I think obviously you can have an experience there, but you could have an experience pretty much anywhere you are. It doesn't really matter. You could be brand new house and have something happen to you. So I do think it is a misconception. Like I said, you can have things happen. But more often than not, it's going to be a nice experience. It's not going to be something that scares you, I don't think.
When I think people forget that, you don't have to go to haunted locations to have an experience.
Yeah. No.
Everybody is capable. Yep. Well, depending on who you ask, most people are capable. You just have to be open-minded to it, and you have to be accepting of the messages or the communication that's coming through. If you hear a knock and you're instantly, a knock's a bad thing because ice makers and heaters.
Yeah.
If something moves and you're like, oh, it's just the wind, but there's no windows open, or you have to be logical but still have that spiritual mindset. And I think that'll allow things to happen. And I think that's why we get some of the evidence we get and why we have so much evidence or so much experience that happens to us. And we have a lot of things happen when the cameras are off. And I think it's funny because when we sit down, especially together, when we sit down and we really try to investigate, it goes quiet. But when me and you are like bantering back and forth and we're joking with Tom and we're not necessarily paying attention, but paying attention, that's when everything starts to happen. It's kind of like, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens a lot actually. Mm-hmm. We're just hanging out and having a good time, and we start hearing things. We're like, all right, well, I guess they want us to come hang out and do something.
Yeah, and they've been saying your name a lot lately.
Yeah.
Every location we go to, and it would be different if it was a common name, but I don't feel like Nate is a common name. Mm-mm. Especially back in the day, like the 1800s or early 1900s. But they're not saying Nathaniel, they're saying Nate.
Yeah, they're saying Nate, yeah.
Well, the temple, it said Nate, run. Yeah. I was like, Nate, why? Where is he going?
Why am I running? Well, give me a reason. So, here's a hypothetical question. Would you rather hear whispers every single night or see a shadow person just once a week?
What if it already happens?
I know. I thought about that after the fact. I'm like, okay, what happens to Ashley? I think.
So, I think. Oh gosh. So they both happen. I'll be honest. They both happen. My problem is I sleep with a fan on. Yeah. And the white noise from the fan, I will hear voices. And I ask my husband all the time, I'm like, Brian, do you hear that? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, just me. But I've also woken up to what I think is a man standing next on my side of the bed, or a woman standing on Brian's, or a man, or I've woken up to things like that. And I think if I wasn't in the paranormal, I'd be freaked out.
Yeah.
I think if I wasn't in the paranormal, I'd rather the voices, because then I can write it off. I could probably make myself believe, oh, it's just the fan making noises, or it's my ears jumbling up the white noise. But you can't really write off a full-on person or shadow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with voices.
I think I'd much rather see something just once a week, because I mean, if I'm hearing whispers every single night, I'm not getting a good night's sleep. And I'm thinking right at the night we were at Fort Wayne at Nick and Bree's
oh my god,
the convention, and I kept hearing a woman whispering to me all night.
Okay.
I would not want that every single night.
No, for anybody who has not heard this story, I have to say that was probably one of the funniest overnight experiences we have had. So we were at the State House when we were in Fort Wayne, and we've investigated that location, and we had great evidence, great responses, but we were there for Mysteries of the Fort. And the room that we were sleeping in was a room that someone had passed away in. And so Nate and I are like, okay, we're going to line up our little cots and our beds, and we're just going to sleep in the same room, safety in numbers. And when you laid down and your direct vision was straight down that hallway, and you were like, I'm going to shut the door. And like the door is not going to stop the spirits. They can still
in my mind, it did. That's all that mattered. That whatever helps me sleep at night, that was it.
No, I was dying because I'm like, they literally could still come in. You're like, no, you even put your book bag in front of the door so it wouldn't open.
You damn right I did. That helps a little bit. You think it's kind of like a little safety net, but realistically, nothing's gonna stop them. But
no, but that little peace of mind, and we've done that other places, like at Wildwood, when I saw those three men, and I was like, I'm just gonna sleep with the blanket over my head.
Yeah,
they are still there. But I felt safe because if I can't see you, you can't see me.
At the temple, I slept with my back towards the basement door. I'm like, oh, I'm not looking at it, so I'll stare at the wall. And
you jerks. So at the temple, we did stay the night there, and they put me on the end with the open space to the stairwell to the temple, the kitchen, the bathroom. I was just out in the open for any spirit that wanted to come mess with me.
Yeah, no.
And I slept fantastic, though.
I did not.
I slept so good that night.
I didn't sleep at all, really, that night. And to the point where we went to Beale Manor that next night, and we were all in bed by 10:30.
I know. We were... And I don't know why we were so excited. I mean, I slept great, but I don't know if it's because we went to bed late, woke up early. I don't know. I don't know if it was the driving. I don't know.
A combination of everything. So here's one that I don't know what I would answer right now, but let's see how you do. So if Bigfoot, ghosts, and aliens were all proven real tomorrow, which one do you think shocks the world the most?
I would have to say...
Tough, right?
It is tough. I think Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, really? Okay.
I think Bigfoot would shock the world the most, just because most of the people that I've come in contact with they may not bring it up, but they will eventually, if you bring it up, have had a spiritual experience. Lots of people have had UFO experiences or sightings or what they think is a sighting. And even though there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings, it's not as widespread. It's more just in like Appalachia. And there's a lot of people that just don't believe in Bigfoot, and they think that it's fake, and they're like, oh, if there's no Bigfoot, or if there is Bigfoot, why haven't we found bones? Why haven't we found feces? Why? So
Yeah.
I think aliens and ghosts are easier to believe in than Bigfoot. So I think Bigfoot, if we truly found one, I think that would shock the world.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I think, to me, maybe it would be aliens, only because how many of them, like, how vast does it go, you know? Like,
Right.
we don't
But
know
that's
what
why.
kind of, like, technology they have. Like, there's a whole different.
Oh, so you mean shock factor because I'm thinking
I
like
mean,
shock factor as, oh my God, they're real. Because I think a
a
lot
bit
of
of both.
people,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people understand that the universe and multi-universes and, and galaxies, I think they realize it's way bigger than what we really have a grasp on.
Yeah.
So I think telling somebody, hey, aliens are real, here is an alien,
Yeah.
I think they'd be like, I knew it. But with Bigfoot, they'd be like, no freaking way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I
because
could see that. Yeah.
galaxies are bigger, there's more places to hide. You think eventually somebody would find like a carcass of a Bigfoot.
I mean, nobody's found bones or anything at this point. It's just, yeah. So, I mean, I could see from that vantage point, it's more, people kind of already believe in ghosts and believe in aliens, and not many people. There are some. I actually know a guy that goes out looking for Bigfoot. He's got his own thing and all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have it's Christy London. It's her partner Mike. We could maybe have him on and we'll talk about Bigfoot sometime. That'd be interesting.
That would be cool. I thought you were going to say we can go looking for Bigfoot. And I'm not going looking for Bigfoot unless I have weapons that are automatic.
Yeah. Automatic, and
he's a
bug spray for sure too, because bugs out in the woods and me in the woods
too. But I'm more worried because Bigfoots are big MFers, and I am not trying to get broken by a Bigfoot.
Facts. All right. So now I've got a little fun game we could play.
Okay.
This is so we're gonna, between you, me, and Tom, right? This is the Dark Travel Chronicles, the core, and we're gonna play Most Likely To. I've got a few, and we'll see how you would answer. I'll answer two, because who would be most likely to run first?
Oh, Tom.
Tom, yeah,
100% Tom.
I think we're in agreement with Tom. Only because of that, and we'll go back to that story. Run, Nate, go. Like, I mean, it depends on the situation. If I see something like you've seen, I've never seen it, but like crawling on the ground fast at you, I might run. 100% gonna run.
I think Tom would run first. I've only ever ran in all of the locations. I ran once, and I've told you that. I think I told you that story. That was with Christy Grissom. We ran all the way out of South Pittsburgh.
Who's the most likely to explore the creepy room?
Ooh, probably me.
You think so? I think so too.
I think I would be more
I would go, but I'm not. I'm not going in first. I don't think. I'd follow you.
Okay, so who would be the most likely to investigate it alone?
You probably.
I think
you. I mean, I will. I've done it multiple times, but I'm not like volunteering myself half the time.
I think we both would do it, but I think to volunteer, I don't know, because there's been a couple places where I'm like, I really don't want to go.
No, exactly. Like the basement at the Doss house. None of us would have went down there by ourselves that night. So.
I mean, I probably would. If you guys were like, hey, go do a solo, I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm not happy about it.
Like, I'm going to be mad at you guys in the car, but I'll
go. Most likely to befriend the ghosts.
You. 100% you.
I was going to say Tom. Because he'd offer candy and be friendly like that. But I mean, I am a people person. That's 100%. So I could see that.
I think Tom would offer candy, but then I think if the evidence or like if things started getting too like creepy, like if things started moving, I think Tom would be like, okay, I'm out. You would probably like, oh, that's cool, do it again.
Yeah. Most likely to say the strange sound was just the wind.
You.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like, nah, that was fake. There's no.
Yeah.
I am the first person to try to say, nah, guys, just it's logical.
Even when we had, well, we can't say too much because it's not out yet, but with the Doss house, there was a situation.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Where we 100% knew it was unexplainable, and you were still like, nope.
I'm still trying to make explanations for it.
You kept trying, and even the owner's like, no. You're like, yes, it has to be. We're like, nope.
Yeah. That's just the way my brain's wired. I don't know.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because
it keeps people grounded too. Yeah. 100%. You need that kind of person when you're out investigating, because not everything is paranormal, and we know that more often than not.
Right. Well, and you keep the team logical, because there are times, depending where we're at, like, I don't want to say overact, but like Tom will get nervous and he'll be like, oh my God, that's paranormal. Like, no, it was this. And I do the same thing where I'm like, oh my God, did you hear that? And you're like, it's a train. We're fine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so who's the most likely to be the first to explore the strange sound we hear?
Probably me.
Yeah.
I tend to go toward it.
You take off before we follow you with the camera. That's usually how that works.
Yeah, I would definitely be the first one killed in a horror movie, because I definitely run towards sounds that I probably shouldn't.
You're right on it. You're not stopping for shit. You're going. Most likely to get lost in the haunted house.
Tom,
yeah. I only say Tom because every time we drive, he gets distracted and we miss our turns anyway. So it's Tom. It's 100% Tom.
He was distracted in Gettysburg.
He drove right by the convention.
Yeah, I'm like, that's where we're supposed to go. And he goes, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Or the time in the Doss house when there were horses in the field and we drove by the road we were supposed to turn down. Yeah, it's Tom.
Yeah, definitely Tom.
There's nobody else for that one, I don't think. And who would be most likely to accidentally catch the best evidence?
Ooh, accidentally catch the best evidence? Probably you. And I say that because there are so many times where Tom and I, on like separate occasions, like, Nate, turn the camera off. This doesn't need to be filmed. You're like, okay.
Yep.
And you never hit the button.
That's 100% me. Yeah.
You tell us it's not recording, and then you like set it somewhere. So I think accidentally, definitely you, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're over an hour already, so we're winding down. But I've got more, but I've got one final one because I think it's a good one to kind of wrap it up with.
Okay.
We are a month and a half away from the Culture Con at this point.
Yes.
And there are a couple celebrity guests that are coming from certain movies.
Correct.
So CJ Graham, he plays Jason in Friday the 13th Part 6. And then we have Tyler Mane, who plays Michael Myers in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Yes.
Who do you think you'd have a better chance of surviving the night against?
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jason or Michael Myers? Okay, they both walk, so I'm hoping that I could outrun them.
Yes.
I would maybe Jason.
You think Jason?
Jason, because Tyler Mane is a huge individual. He is like, he's just giant, and he's built, and he's just a big guy. And with CJ Grimm, he is also a built guy, but I think
he's built, but Tyler Maine's 7 feet tall. Like that's
yes. Okay, so we're still live, and Brian's just sneaking in the background. 100% live.
What's up?
Hi, everybody.
What's going on?
But I think because like the storyline with Jason is the mother, and he has a soft spot for his mom, so I think I would try to play off of that part.
You try to be his mom?
I wouldn't be his mom, but I would try to get to that soft spot, or I would just run, and he walks anyway. With Michael Myers, he just gives no Fs. He kills everybody.
No, especially in that one per se, he was very, very violent. But hear me out. I think I would try to survive against Michael Myers because at the end of the day, he's really just a dude. Whereas Jason's kind of like a zombie looking thing, and how the hell do you could take a dude out, but I don't know how you would begin to try to.
But there's times that I've seen. I mean, I say I've seen. They're movies.
Yeah.
But like Michael, like he gets stabbed or he gets hit with a pipe, and he just gets right back up.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
What I would do is I would just get on a plane, just fly to wherever they're not. For 24 hours.
Let me just drive away as fast as I can and make it out that way. But
that's a hard question. I'm gonna stick with trying to go against Jason.
I don't think I'm surviving either one, but
no, I think I have a better chance against Jason versus Michael Myers. Okay, well, with that question then, because there are some other guests that are going to be there, like Junko Bailey, who played in The Grudge.
Yeah.
And we've got Tony Moran, who is also Michael Myers, and he is officially he is one of the few that can physically sign Michael Myers.
The research, because we're probably going to be talking to him soon. Everybody else that's played technically Michael Myers, the monster in the movie, is the Shape. That's what they're called, the Shape. They're not called Michael Myers. So he's one of the only ones that's actually credited as Michael Myers. I think there's him and one other person. So
and that's really cool because he's going to be there, and he I know now that you brought up the Culture Con, they are going to do they're going to have tables so you can meet these people. They're going to do autographs. They're going to have photo opportunities with these people. Kevin Kedgley, who we had on, is going to dress in his Stranger Things sheriff uniform or police uniform. And I did talk to Tony Moran, and he said that he's going to bring his full his uniform, their costumes. But I think anybody who is going to get their picture with Tony, don't have him put the mask on, because anybody can wear a Michael Myers mask. Like, have him hold it next to him or something like that, just so you have that authenticity. But there's going to be a lot of really, really cool people there. I am so excited about it.
That should be a fun time.
And I mean, we've got all those horror. We've got Nancy Ann Ritter she's the original Scream girl. She's going to be there. We've got Patty Negri, who we just had on a few weeks ago. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. There's lots of fun, different things going to be planned as far as celebrities. There's events you could add on throughout the weekend. I know there's a couple workshops with Patty. There's she's doing the midnight seance, right?
Yeah, so she's doing the midnight seance. She's doing the dolls, and then she's doing the midnight seance is on the haunted trolley.
Yes.
So she's going to do that, and there's a bunch of different galleries going on with all kinds of people. And one of the things that I like that this event is doing. There's been events that we've gone to where they'll have 2 or 3 or 4 different things going at one time. This convention is going to have one gallery or one presentation or whatever it is going at a time, so that if you do want to attend multiples, you can, and you're not missing out on anything. Yeah,
we've been there where you're trying to juggle your day, and you miss something because you wanted to go to a different one. So that is kind of nice. And there are different panels and stuff too. I was looking on the website earlier. So there's different, like, you got movie based panels, you got filmmaking panels, you've got
Urban X.
Yep. All sorts of different things. So
there's going to be Urban X panels. There's going to be location panels, so location owners can come and talk to other location owners. There's going to be I like to say there's going to be a little bit for everybody because you're bringing together the horror fans and when people think horror, like, this is legit Michael Myers, Jason, The Grudge, Stranger Things. Like, this isn't like, podunk haunted house down the road. We've got legitimate horror stars, I'll say. And then we've got a lot of paranormal that are going to be there. We're going to be there, and there's a couple other teams that are going to be there. We've got metaphysical, so we're going to have psychic mediums and healers and all of that. But then you have your urbex, which are, urban explorers. We've got filmmakers, like Larry Eisler is going to be there, and, he edits and films, and he's in the paranormal as well. So we've just, Vince Keelan's going to be there.
Bigfoot people are going to be there. I saw that.
Yes. So we got Bigfoot. We got, literally a little bit for everybody. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So definitely go to the website. It's on the bottom there. Check that out. Get tickets. You've got plenty of time. Got over a month and a half. So.
So it's September 19th and 20th in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And it's being held at the Radisson in Lackawanna. Tickets are available. There are certain hotels in the area. If you're looking to go, I would book soon because I want to say the Radisson is full, if not almost full. There's a lot of Airbnbs in the area. Nate has found a couple of those.
Oh, there's one Airbnb. Shoot. Somebody's going to have a great weekend. I can tell you.
That's a weird one, but and they're not too expensive. Like the Airbnbs in the area, it was like $100 a night or something like that, depending on the size of your group. But if anybody comes out, let us know because we'll be there. We'll be podcasting, walking around, going live. Come see us. Say hi.
A lot of people like me are big fans of the show The Office as well, and that a lot of the stuff was. It's based out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. So like a lot of the things you see in like the trailer, or not the trailer, the opening credits and stuff are in town. There's the pub they always go to, Port Richards. There's an actual Port Richards in Scranton. So there's different things. So like if you're into The Office as well, like come check out the convention and then spend another day exploring town and taking pictures with all the cool stuff that you've seen in all 100 episodes of The Office.
Well, I also heard there's going to be vendors selling like little goodies. Like there's going to be like cakes and brownies and possibly tamales and all these different things. So I think it's going to be, like I said, it's just going to be a really fun weekend. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, so you made it, Ashley. We didn't.
I did. Those were good questions. I like those. I like going and not knowing.
Yeah, it's a fun little twist every once in a while to throw in one of these just to like spark conversation. I think we had fun with that tonight. So
yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. We got to do a darkness detour more often.
Yeah.
Maybe once every couple months. We'll just go back and forth harassing each other with questions.
Next time you harass me again, and I won't know what you're talking about. I think with that, what do we have? We don't have anything really planned next.
No, so we will have Tony Moran on. We are trying to solidify a date, so we will keep everyone posted on that. And then we have moved. I know we've kind of been testing it out, but we have officially moved to every other Thursday.
Yeah. It's better with our schedules and everything like that.
It does. Yeah. But we did drop an episode that was the Masonic Temple that is available.
Episode.
Yeah. So that is available on YouTube.
Yep.
And we have a couple episodes that are about to drop. We've got the Doss House.
Yes.
Broadhead Manor.
And I think that's it right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta get back on the road and do some of that soon too. So we gotta hold Tom. Get going.
Right.
But yeah, Broadhead's pretty much done. I think he's almost done with Doss. So I don't know which one's going to come out next. We'll figure that out, but probably within the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. So,
and then by that time, it'll be time for Scranton,
facts.
and we'll be at the CultureCon.
Yes, come see us there. It'll be fun.
With that, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys. And if you ever have any fun questions, send them to us, because we like doing this Darkness Detour. It's fun to just chat and not have to worry about prepping or having guests or whatever. So it's fun.
Yeah. Send us questions like these ones. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But until then, you guys have a great night, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out and sticking with us through another episode with every chilling detail and twisted turn. If you liked what you heard, hit that follow button and share the show with your fellow true crime lovers, ghost seekers, and night owls. If you survived this far and crave more, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel, Realm of Darkness and the Dark Travel Chronicles. Revisit past episodes or see what we might have missed lurking in the shadows on an episode of Dark Travel Chronicles. We'll be back next week with another case, another mystery, and maybe another piece of the truth. Until then, keep your lights low, your mind open, and your doors locked. Remember, not everything that screams in the dark is just the wind.